Imagine driving down a stretch of road lined with the most beautiful blossoming trees. Now imagine memorials, candles, flowers, teddy bears, gifts, names, next to and or on a tree every few blocks. That is sadly an often sight in my city. I live in Vancouver, Washington. It is a city on the south border of Washington State, right across the Columbian River from Portland, Oregon. There are two main parts of the city. There are the downtown area, which is very busy. Then there's where I live, the suburbs, a lot quieter, more spacious, and with some great schools. And even through this, there are a lot of car accidents that make it that much more dangerous. So especially two places right outside my neighborhood are these two street corners. One is where Patton intersects 152nd, and the other one is where Ward intersects 162nd. This is where two very busy streets intersect, and it becomes almost, for lack of better words, a death trap. Constantly, you could see property damage, either from broken down fences, walls being hit to, and litter being shards of glass, fragments of console, littered throughout the street, soon to be swept into the gutters. According to the 2015 Annual Collisions Summary, there are over 100,000 accidents and 500 of those being fatal in 2015 in Washington State alone. Remember those memorials from earlier? Those are people who have died on these roadways. And according to HG.org Legal Resources, they've estimated that billions in dollars go into these collisions in the US every year. And there are different types of costs for this, of course. The most common one that you would think about is the cars that are, totaled or just need repairs. But there's also property damage, whether it's those fences and walls, or even the roads that get worn down from all these skid marks and potholes that get made. The one thing that you can't measure as easily is the cost of a human life. Just how much can really be considered an accident when there are so many ways to prevent them. So what is being done? We've all seen the commercials, we all know the slogans, click it or ticket, we all heard the lines, don't drink and drive. There are signs everywhere, but they fade into the background while we're driving. There are police who set up speed traps, but the locals know how to avoid them. And so what can we do? Well, Geico has noticed a pattern that a lot of these accidents occur from young and inexperienced drivers. It makes sense. They are new, they don't have much experience on the roadways, and oftentimes they're nervous about making mistakes. So what Geico suggests to do is for these young and inexperienced drivers to really follow every law that you're taught in driving school, no matter how tedious they seem, because they're there for a reason. Things happen, so we make changes to prevent them. And a common thing that I personally find very useful is to mind your curfew. Within 1 year of having your driver's license, you should not be driving past, I believe, 1 in the morning, because it is very dark, it is hard to see, and you're often not drowsy. At night, the roadways become very dangerous. So what can we do? We all know the risks, we all know the outcomes, the costs. I believe it is up to the individual. Since we know all these things, apply them. If you know all your little tics that you have that make you maybe a little hazardous on the road, work on them. Watch your speedometer to mind your speed. Ask a passenger to help you out. And I'm pretty sure we all know someone in our lives who might need a little talking to. Do just that, but be respectful about it. This is a more pressing matter than it might seem. And a lot of bad things happen on our roadways. And with all these great schools, there's a lot of children, and I want to keep them safe. So please help me. I can't do it on my own. Thank you. Drive safe.